Did we just lose $7 billion for solar energy? Imagine waking up to the news that the U.S. government is about to pull the plug on a whopping $7 billion in grant funding for solar energy. This shocking move has sent shockwaves throughout the renewable energy sector, leaving many wondering if this is the end of the road for solar power in America. But here's where it gets controversial. The Trump administration's latest attack on clean energy is not just about the money. It's about the principles of sustainability and the future of our planet. The Log Off, a daily newsletter that keeps you informed about the Trump administration's policies, has been following this story closely. According to their reports, the administration plans to claw back the $7 billion in grant funding that was intended to support the installation of solar panels for low and middle-income households. This funding was awarded to 60 entities, including 49 state agencies, as part of the Solar for All program, a legacy of the Inflation Reduction Act. But can the administration really do this? The answer is not a simple one. While Congress has successfully clawed back money from unobligated Solar for All grants in the past, this funding has already been awarded, making it a more complex issue. The move is likely to be challenged in lawsuits, and the outcome is far from certain. And this is the part most people miss. The administration's attack on clean energy is not just about solar power. It's a broader assault on renewables. The Environmental Protection Agency has attempted to cancel an additional $20 billion in already awarded climate grants. And Trump's reconciliation package has cut clean energy subsidies and electric vehicle tax credits, while adding new subsidies for coal power. But here's the big picture. Despite these antagonistic policies, the renewable energy build-out around the world is still strong, and even in the U.S. There's a lot of inertia behind the ongoing transition. Clean energy expansion will continue, and it's likely to be driven by state and local governments, as well as private companies. So, what's the way forward? It's time to ask ourselves some tough questions. Can we really afford to abandon our commitment to renewable energy? What are the consequences of prioritizing fossil fuels over clean energy? And what can we do as individuals to support the transition to a more sustainable future? The answers to these questions will shape the course of our planet's history, and it's up to us to make our voices heard. As we log off for now, let's take a moment to appreciate some good news. The fur industry is collapsing worldwide, and the number of animals farmed and killed for their fur has plummeted in the last decade. This is a significant victory for animal rights and a testament to the power of collective action. But as we celebrate this win, let's not forget the ongoing struggle for a more sustainable future. The battle for clean energy is far from over, and it's up to us to keep pushing forward. So we ask you, what do you think about the administration's attack on clean energy? Do you think it's a step backwards or a necessary measure? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Trump admin targets Biden's solar program. $7 billion cut revealed. The Trump administration is poised to make significant changes to the Biden administration's green energy initiatives, particularly targeting a substantial $7 billion program aimed at promoting solar energy in residential areas. According to reports from Fox News Digital, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, is contemplating notifying numerous nonprofits and state organizations that benefited from the Biden-era Solar for All initiative that their federal grants may be revoked. This program, which was launched in 2024, was designed to provide solar energy solutions to approximately 900,000 low-income and disadvantaged households across the United States. As of Tuesday afternoon, it remains unclear whether the EPA has reached a definitive conclusion regarding the fate of these grants. An EPA spokesperson commented on the situation, stating, "With the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill, the EPA is working to ensure that congressional intent is fully implemented in accordance with the law. This new legislation includes measures that could phase out solar tax credits, which are crucial for the solar industry." Lee Zeldin, the EPA administrator, has been at the forefront of efforts to cut federal grants that were established during the Biden administration. In April 2024, the Biden administration had announced that 60 nonprofits and state groups would receive a total of $7 billion in grants to facilitate the installation of residential solar systems. This initiative was expected to generate over $350 million in annual savings on electricity bills for middle and low-income families. However, it is still uncertain how much of the allocated $7 billion has already been utilized. The funding for this program was sourced from the Inflation Reduction Act, which was celebrated by key figures in the Biden administration, including EPA Administrator Michael Regan and John Podesta, an advisor on international climate policy. They emphasized that this initiative would significantly benefit low-income households, ensuring that the advantages of solar energy are not limited to affluent communities. Podesta remarked, "Solar is the cheapest form of electricity and one of the best ways to lower energy costs for American families. Today's announcement of EPA's Solar for All awards will mean that low-income communities, and not just well-off communities, will feel the cost-saving benefits of solar thanks to this investment." Throughout his presidency, Joe Biden has consistently prioritized green energy initiatives, which included substantial funding for climate-related projects under the Inflation Reduction Act. In a notable moment towards the end of his term, he became the first sitting U.S. president to visit the Amazon rainforest, highlighting his commitment to environmental issues. During a climate summit in September 2024, he asserted that he and then Vice President Kamala Harris had pursued an ambitious climate policy focused on growth, despite skepticism about its feasibility. In contrast, former President Donald Trump has been vocal in his criticism of the Biden administration's green energy policies, labeling wind and solar energy as detrimental to the country. The Inflation Reduction Act also encompassed various green energy projects, including $350 million in grants aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions from construction materials. With Democrats asserting that it would lead to a 40% reduction in carbon emissions by 2030. The EPA has previously made significant cuts to Biden-era environmental grants, including the cancellation of $20 billion in funding from the Inflation Reduction Act, which has sparked ongoing legal disputes. Administrator Lee Zeldin has expressed concerns that these funds were being mismanaged, stating that they were parked at an outside financial institution in a deliberate effort to limit government oversight. Doling out your money through just 8 pass-through, politically connected, unqualified, and in some cases brand new NGOs. The potential decision to eliminate solar grants comes on the heels of the Trump administration's announcement that the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management would halt new offshore wind development across 3.5 million acres nationwide. Trump has characterized wind and solar energy as a blight on our country, arguing that smart countries don't use it. This ongoing debate raises critical questions about the future of renewable energy in the U.S. and the direction of energy policy under different administrations. What are your thoughts on the impact of these proposed changes? Do you believe that cutting funding for solar initiatives is a step backward for environmental progress? Or do you see it as a necessary reevaluation of energy priorities? EPA may cancel $7 billion solar grants, Impact on U.S. clean energy, low-income homes. The future of solar energy funding is at risk, a $7 billion dilemma. In a surprising turn of events, the Trump administration is contemplating the cancellation of a substantial $7 billion grant initiative aimed at providing solar energy solutions to low and moderate income households. This information comes from two sources familiar with the situation, who have chosen to remain anonymous due to the sensitive nature of the discussions. As early as this week, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, may decide to revoke these grants, which were originally allocated in 2024 under the previous administration of President Joe Biden. These funds were distributed to 60 nonprofit organizations, tribal groups, and state agencies, all of which are working to enhance solar energy access. The New York Times was the first to report on the EPA's ongoing deliberations regarding this matter. Despite the looming uncertainty, an EPA spokesperson has stated that no final decision has been made yet. With the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill, the EPA is committed to ensuring that congressional intent is fully realized in accordance with the law, the spokesperson explained. The Solar for All initiative, which is at the center of this controversy, was established through Biden's 2022 climate legislation known as the Inflation Reduction Act. This program primarily supports state energy agencies in their efforts to implement rooftop and community solar projects. However, the Trump administration has consistently aimed to diminish federal backing for solar and wind energy, labeling these renewable sources as costly and unreliable. This stance raises significant questions about the future of renewable energy funding in the U.S. 3 organizations that received funding from the Solar for All program have reported that they have yet to receive any official communication from the EPA regarding the status of their grants. Hillary Schoeney, the chief of staff at the Bonneville Environmental Foundation, which has been awarded $130 million for solar projects in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, emphasized this program is fully aligned with congressional intent and provides essential benefits to the rural and frontline communities we serve. Furthermore, Solar for All supports the president's goal to unleash American energy by enhancing local energy production, promoting energy independence, and generating well-paying jobs in rural areas. As this situation unfolds, it invites a broader discussion about the role of government in supporting renewable energy initiatives. Are we witnessing a necessary reevaluation of energy policies? Or is this a step backward for sustainable energy development? What are your thoughts on the potential cancellation of such a significant funding program? Share your opinions in the comments below.